So hello and welcome to our spring fundraiser, Chamber Music Magic. My name is Lexi Woodard, and I'm honored to serve as the Vice President of the Board of Directors here at Chamber Music Madness. On behalf of the entire board, as well as our artistic and managing directors, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm going to start off with some brief advice as you engage with tonight's event. We find that Zoom works best if you can close any non-essential programs running on your device. That will help with the audio and video quality of the broadcast on your end. Please feel free to engage with other attendees in the chat. You can find the chat icon at the very bottom of your screen. Once that window opens, you'll see a drop-down menu. You can send messages to just the panelists or to all attendees. If you want to try the chat out now, please select all attendees and share where you're joining us from, or tell us your favorite composer or chamber music ensemble. We really wish that we could be seeing you all in person like we normally would in the spring, but we are so excited to have you here with us virtually. Our spring event is the only dedicated fundraiser we have throughout the year, and we have an ambitious goal for ourselves tonight. We hope to raise $15,000 to support chamber music education right here in the Northwest. We have a full and fun hour ahead of us, so make sure you have your musical cocktail from Solare Restaurant, or maybe a glass of wine or some tea ready to go so you can sit back and enjoy the entertainment. Let's dive right in. We are kicking the evening off with the first of 4 door prize drawings. The winners will be randomly selected from the list of individuals registered from tonight's event. Our board president, Sharon Wong, will be drawing the winners, so I will hand it over to Sharon.
Thank you, Lexi. I'm so delighted to be here, and I'm really excited to do the door. Well, I'll be doing most of the door prize drawings. The first door prize that we're going to give away is for a trio of wines from Nota Bene Cellars, and owners Carol and Tim have been really great enthusiasts of local music and arts education for many, many years. They've contributed their fine award-winning Washington wines to Chamber Music Madness events on multiple occasions, and we're so appreciative of their friendship and support. So without ado, let me figure out how I'm going to do the drawing. All right, so we have a wine glass and a bunch of names in here. So let me figure out, oh my God, one's left. Who is it? Let me look. The lucky winner is Deanne Sisley. Congratulations, Deanne.
Great. Thank you, Sharon. And also a big, big thank you to Tim and Carol at Nota Bene Cellars. You may not know this, but Chamber Music Madness was founded 20 years ago by Karen Aglitzen, former violinist with the Philadelphia String Quartet. Our summer student camp at that time was known as Camp Nirvana. We are going to share a specially recorded video message followed by a beautiful Seattle Symphony performance from Rachel Ellen Wong, a Chamber Music Madness alumna from that time and now an award-winning Baroque violinist.
Hi, I'm violinist Rachel Ellen Wong. I am so thankful to the experiences I had as a 14-year-old through Camp Nirvana and Chamber Music Madness. It actually happened to be my first overnight music festival, and I was really nervous to be going away from home, even though home happened to be a 15-minute drive away. I immediately forgot all my nervousness when I started meeting all the other campers who were so welcoming and friendly, and a lot of them I am still in contact with today. It was a privilege to work on Beethoven and Dvorak quartets with the 3 amazing coaches that we had, who were Karen Aglitzen, Leslie Marks, and Irv Eisenberg. One memory that I will never forget was after the 2 weeks of hard work that all of us campers put together our quartets, and we practiced really hard for the concert. After our performance in the chapel at Bastyr, Irv came up to me and said that my trills were descended from heaven, and as a 14-year-old to hear that from one of the greatest quartet chamber music players ever, it has really stuck with me, and I really miss Irv. What I learned during those 2 weeks has stayed with me and helped me in my own musical career ever since, and I would definitely not be where I am today without having gone to Camp Nirvana through Chamber Music Madness. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you so very much, Rachel, for sharing your story and your talent. We are really lucky to live in such a musically engaged community. There are many organizations across the region working to increase access to classical music and develop a strong community of musicians. One such organization is King FM. They have generously donated a studio tour for two and a chance to meet the radio hosts, and that is our next door prize. Sharon, would you please do the honors?
Oh, thank you, Lexi. All right. Well, so I bet you're all wondering how we do a drawing when, we're kind of virtual. So what I've done is I've set a set of cards, and the cards are tied to the people who've entered the drawing. So I am going to draw a card and see who it belongs to. Oh my goodness, the King of Diamonds. It belongs to Bruce Sherman. Congratulations, Bruce. I want to hear about your tour when you go to King FM. All right. Well, actually, we're going to move on to the next portion of the program. And what I want to do is share with you some really, you're our best supporters. And I want to share some really exciting news from Chamber Music Madness. And so I was reflecting about the journey that Chamber Music, that we've been on as an organization. And it got me thinking about my personal journey and how I got introduced to Chamber Music Madness. And it was from one of the programs. It was the retreat weekend that's at Icicle Creek, which is a huge favorite of all of our attendees. And it was really important to my journey as a cellist. I started as an adult like many of you, and it's been such a meaningful thing for me to have the coaching and the education of programs from Chamber Music Madness. So as I learned more about Chamber Music Madness, about the programs for both the youth and adults, I got really excited about what chamber music is about and what the organization does. So about 4 years ago, I joined the board and learned so much about the kinds of programs that we have, the community that Chamber Music Madness has built, and just the incredible people that are a part of the organization, from Lexi and the rest of the board, Virginia, our managing director, and our artistic director, the Skyrose Quartet. And we had a tough time in the pandemic, but we were able to really leverage the artistry and the craft from the Skyrose Quartet and launch a new virtual program, our Counterpoint Club podcast. We're so thankful for that. And our programs appeal to musicians of all ages, which is really different from the start with 20 years ago, where we had mostly youth-focused programs. So it's been really clear that we've come a long way since we started 20 years ago. And so what's happened is that our mission has grown, our community has gotten larger, we have a real commitment to chamber music education, and we really feel like we've outgrown our name. Chamber Music Madness just doesn't encompass all the things that we do now. So tonight I want to share with you some news, and you're the first ones we've told. We're planning to change our name. We're changing it to the Chamber Music Guild. We're really excited about the name change because we really feel that it reflects community and artistry, craft, and the joy and journey of chamber music, and all these things that get encompassed in a guild. And so I wanted to share that with you. You'll be seeing more about that from us later this year, but we just felt like giving you a sneak peek into the name. So thank you, and thanks for being a part of our chamber music community.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sharon. The growth of our programs over the last few years has propelled us into this thrilling change, and we are just so happy to finally share it with you all, our most engaged supporters. Next up, we have an alumna from Tuned In, our summer student festival, Ava Galen Williams, who's actually on this call tonight. Hi, Ava. Sharing some of her thoughts on the impact that our programs have had on her, as well as an exciting bar talk duet with her friend, Rina Kubota, called Pillow Dance.
I attended Tuned In the summer of 2019 and had a great experience meeting new people and playing chamber music. The coaches and artistic directors at Chamber Music Madness are incredible. They have had a huge positive impact in all areas of my life and have inspired me to pursue a career in music. I can't thank them enough.
Wow. Thank you, Ava and Rina. Ava, thank you for your very kind words. We're so proud of all of our Chamber Music Madness alumna. So I'm really excited about our next guest. And, you know, and continuing the thread about the chamber music guild, you know that every guild has their master crafts people and master artists. And those are the people that help guide students along their journey as the students learn their craft and practice their craft. And so we're so fortunate to be working with the Seattle Chamber Music Society. We've had their involvement in helping to coach our students at our student summer festival. We've had master guest artists giving master classes, just really wonderful. Our students have participated in the Chamber Music Society's Music Under the Stars program. And they've been absolutely so generous in donating tickets for us to give to our students so that the students can see the masters perform and really experience a concert in person. Well, in person when we've done it, virtually soon. Hopefully we'll be doing that in person again pretty soon. But anyway, it's with really great pleasure that I want to introduce our special guest, Connie Cooper, who's the executive director of the Seattle Chamber Music Society. Connie Cooper is a self-described lapsed cellist, go cellists. And she joined the Chamber Music Society as executive director in 1996. And under her leadership, SCMS has grown its budget 500%, maintained balanced operating budgets every year, and added a 2-week winter festival in addition to the 4-week summer festival. She's been busy. They've moved to the new downtown performance venue, which I'm really looking forward to seeing in person one of these days and not just on video. And they've completed a new capital campaign for the center. And among all of this, she's launched the virtual festival to help us experience chamber music during the pandemic. So thank you, Connie. I'm so glad you're here with us, and I'm honored that you're here.
Thank you very much, Sharon. And hello, everyone. Glad to be part of this. As Sharon mentioned, I'm Connie Cooper, Executive Director of Seattle Chamber Music Society. And it's a real pleasure to come and speak with you this evening about my passion, which is one we all share, the importance of music in our lives and our deep belief in its value. As Sharon noted, I'm a lapsed cellist, but for many years as a student and as a young adult, I pursued a performance career. Although I didn't end up as a professional musician, as an arts administrator, I did find a way to nurture my love of chamber music and to bring chamber music to a wider community. I love introducing people to chamber music performances and hearing them describe their awe and delight at the nonverbal communication among the musicians and the emotions that they have when they are listening to a concert. Every year, 4th and 5th grade students have the opportunity to learn a musical instrument at their elementary school. Perhaps that's how many of you first started. In addition to learning the basics of how to create sounds on their instruments, students learn to read music, gain proficiency through individual practice and ensemble classes, and work towards a goal, the spring concert. But more than that, music education provides a framework for important life skills, teamwork and communication, collaboration, respect for others, and the importance of listening. Some of today's elementary music students will continue with their instrument in middle and high school, and some will even add private lessons along with their school ensembles. Although just a few will continue on into college or conservatory programs, the seed for a lifelong love of music has been planted. Even though most adults end up in non-musical careers, their early interest and exposure to music is not lost. At Seattle Chamber Music Society, our audience surveys have shown that over 80% of audience members studied an instrument in school. I don't think this is an unusual statistic. Though not professional musicians, these adults who were former young music students attend concerts, meet others with similar interests, support performing arts organizations, and perhaps join a community orchestra or amateur chamber music ensemble. Music brings people together. Sitting in a concert hall, we are among people who share a common interest. Over the years, I have observed friendships that have formed just because people met at a concert, seated in the hall next to each other, or waiting in the lobby, or even standing in the restroom line at intermission. The word amateur comes from the Latin word amare, to love. You may be a very skilled baker or a whiz on the tennis court, but you aren't earning your living that way. In other words, you engage in an activity out of love, not for financial gain. Probably many of you have continued to play an instrument long after you left school, or as Sharon noted, maybe you only began to study an instrument as an adult. As amateur musicians, you show your love for music and for music making, and you share that love with others. If music lovers want to continue to play as adults, how do they find opportunities? Seattle boasts over 30 community orchestras that collectively engage hundreds and hundreds of amateur musicians. Neighborhood orchestras, employee orchestras, such as those at Microsoft and Amazon, orchestras for young adults, retirees, and everyone in between. But if an amateur musician wants to find a few others with whom to play chamber music, what are the options? In my professional capacity, I've been asked to refer people to other area musicians, a violist looking to complete a string quartet, or a violinist who needs a pianist with whom to play sonatas. Chamber music opportunities such as this organization offers are a wonderful way to bring musicians together in a positive, joyful environment. Your adult chamber music weekend at Icicle Creek and the one-day workshops connect adult musicians who share their appreciation for chamber music with each other. This organization, the newly renamed Chamber Music Guild, epitomizes the value of music appreciation and offers supportive performance experiences for young people and adults so they can continue their love of music throughout their lives. Thank you for keeping your love of music alive and for supporting this organization, which offers so many ways to foster that love. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Connie. And I think if you don't mind, we might have you do our next door prize drawing, which is, well, I guess, Connie, do you want to share a little bit of information about your generous donation?
Yes, the next prize is a subscription to our online summer festival coming up in July and August. And just a little background, as noted earlier, we pivoted to a virtual format for our performances thanks to the fact that we had our Center for Chamber Music and could bring musicians to Seattle to rehearse and perform in our little space. It's not replacing what we hope to do, what we will be returning to do with our main concerts once we can all gather again. These video performances are original content, and we've been really encouraged by the number of listeners we've had from all over the country and beyond. So we are offering a subscription to our 2021 online summer festival. We'll be releasing 12 different performances mid-July through mid-August, and viewing will extend into mid-September. And to actually do the drawing, I don't have quite the perfect props that Sharon has, but I do have a couple of things, piece of paper here. Okay, I'm looking at my little sheet here. The winner is, drum roll please, Suzanne Phillips. Congratulations, Suzanne.
Wow, Suzanne, I'm so envious that you get that. Of course, all of us, I'm sure, will be attending the summer festival. Thank you so much, Connie. Your message was so inspirational and just captures so much about what we stand for, and we're just so grateful to have the relationship with you that we have. So thank you so much. Well, this is the point where we ask you for your support. You know, you've heard Connie talk about the impact of music and chamber music, and I just want you to sit and think a little bit about your musical journey and what chamber music means to you. I mean, think about your musical friends. I mean, Connie touched on that, right? You've made friends. There's a vibrant community of musicians here in Seattle. And you've learned a lot by playing with your music ensembles. You have, you know, beyond, especially for our students, beyond just the playing together, they learn communication skills and teamwork. I mean, these are life skills that serve students beyond just from playing music. So your support is really vital to us to make sure that we can continue to deliver music education programs to musicians of all ages. You know, last year was really hard for us. I mean, we had to convert a lot of our programs to a virtual format. We had the virtual retreat that replaced the retreat we normally have at Icicle Creek. We are so fortunate to capture the wisdom and the artistry of the Skyrose quartet members and all the special guest artists they've had to really learn about chamber music with the Counterpoint Club podcast, and then the companion Counterpoint Classroom teacher guides that Skyrose has put together to help teachers in this time of the pandemic, where they're trying to figure out how to teach music with an ensemble that's usually used to meeting together but can't. So this was a pretty challenging year, and we're really looking forward to returning to in-person programs, as we're starting to do very slowly across 2000 this year, and then hopefully more in the next year. You know, our programs are unique. The in-school coaching program teaches students, as I spoke before, more than just ensemble music. It's based on a curriculum, but they learn life skills. And I think that's so important. It's so important for them, and beyond the friend, and of course, also the friendships. And you heard Ava talk about the impact that our Summer Student Festival had on her life. I mean, we're talking about programs that really make an impact on students' lives. It makes an impact on our adult amateur players. It makes a huge impact on your life. One of the programs that we have is the Day of Madness, where we've connected. It's the one program we have that connects everybody of all ages. So, you know, it's really fun to sit and play with a bunch of students. I remember going to one and just having a blast playing with some of the students who were attending, the young people. And so, you know, this is how we pass our love of music on to the next generation of musicians. And our weekend retreat is so popular. And for me personally, it's where I've met so many of my musician friends, and where I've met people that I play with now regularly. I don't know how I would have done that in any other way. So it's you that makes our programs possible. We can't really do this without you. And it's your support that makes a difference. You know, our goal is to raise $15,000 to help us continue the virtual programs and help us to return to in-person programs carefully and safely over the next year. And what's even more important, if you give now, your donation is going to have double the impact. Our board and a generous donor have agreed to match your donation. It's up to $10,000. So if you please give any amount that you feel comfortable with tonight, but your gift really, really makes a difference. And we're so appreciative of it. I mean, you've really seen the impact that chamber music has for our up and coming musicians. I mean, oh my goodness, I was just like, my heart was throbbing when I was listening to Rachel play, and I was so excited to see Ava and Rena play. I mean, it was so exciting. And you know, there's no other program around here in this area that connects and educates players of all ages like we do. But we need your support to keep delivering these great programs. They just don't happen by themselves. And so please consider making a gift. And to those of you who have already given, thank you. Thank you so much. And we've got an extra little thing to thank you. So for all of our donors here, I had to practice holding this. We have a gift for you. It's not a violin you play, it's actually a flash drive. And we'll be sending them out to all of our donors after the event. So hopefully you'll, you know, find it useful. I've been like really thrilled using mine. It's been really fun to have this little cute little violin. So thank you. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate your participation in our programs. You can go to our website to make your donation. We're so grateful. And so thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Sharon. And thank you again, Connie, for your beautiful and inspiring message and for joining us tonight. It means so much to us. Our program, Emerald City Chamber Music Education Organization, or ECHO, began in 2016 and sends Skyros members directly into classrooms around the region. Flora Cummings, who I also see on the call tonight, hi Flora, was one of our very first ECHO participants, and we are so excited to share a message from Flora, as well as a snippet of her quartet playing a little Debussy next.
Hi, my name is Flora Cummings, and I'm a junior at Shorecrest High School in Shoreline. And Chamber Music Madness has asked me to tell you about how some of their programs have influenced my life. I would say there are many ways. However, perhaps the most obvious would be that I met my private teacher, as of right now, Sarah Pizzikemi, through the ECHO program when she coached my student quartet when I was in 9th grade, which has definitely been a big influence on my life the past year and a half that I've been studying with her. And the ECHO program, I've been part of the ECHO program for the past 5 years, although this past year we have not had any coachings because of the pandemic, unfortunately. I would say the ECHO program really helped my student quartet expand upon our very limited knowledge at the beginning anyways of chamber music, and really brought us a lot more cohesion, allowing us to grow as an ensemble through the past few years, and really help giving us new ideas and different perspectives on how to bring our music to life, bring it character, and tell stories through our music. Also, the Tuned In summer camp that I participated in a couple summers ago. I had a blast at that. That was probably one of the best summer camps I've ever been to. My chamber music group was fantastic. I loved the music we got to play, and the different sorts of ways we approached playing chamber music, and also the theater classes that we had, and different sorts of instruction towards being a better musician. And I would just say overall that Chamber Music Madness programs that I've had the opportunity to take part in have first sparked and then fueled my my love and passion for chamber music. Listen to chamber music in my spare time. I love playing chamber music, and it's just brought so much into my own playing, even just solo playing, with bringing character and vivid imagery into my mind when I'm playing and trying to portray that to my audience. And a lot of that has come from the ideas and instruction that I've received through the Chamber Music Madness programs. So thank you so much for all these opportunities, and I hope that after this pandemic is over that we will be able to play chamber music together once again, because it has been a great joy in my life for the past couple years, and I hope that it will continue to be so for the rest of my life.
Thank you so much. That was so fantastic. I remember sitting at that concert just being in awe of you and your ensemble and just marveling at how much you've all grown over the years. For those of you who aren't familiar with that quartet, that's part of the first movement of the WC String Quartet. Just an amazing job by that whole ensemble. In fact, your orchestra teacher, excuse me, came to see it, and I remember he was crying because he was so proud of you and your ensemble. So thank you so much. Next up is our next and final door prize of the night. It's a quartet this time, not a trio, a quartet of wines from Nota Bene. Again, we're so grateful to Carol and Tim for the generosity in donating these wines for us to use and their support. Remember, if you don't win these wines, you can go to their tasting room in South Seattle to go try them for yourself. So let's see who the lucky winner is. You ready? I wonder who it is. It's Morven. Congratulations, Morven. I hope you enjoy your quartet of wines. Don't drink them all yourself.
Awesome. Congratulations again, Morven. Very exciting. Many of our former students have gone on to have wildly successful music careers, and we absolutely love to see our alumni out in the world. Our next videos feature a very talented group of siblings from Edmonds, the Gothard sisters.
Hello. We are the Gothard sisters, and we are a Celtic folk band based here in the Pacific Northwest. And all three of us are alumni of the wonderful Chamber Music Madness programs. That's right. So all three of us, before we became a band, went through the Chamber Music Madness program separately, but we all three came out with many things learned from those programs, and we look back very fondly on those days. We learned a lot about sight reading, we learned a lot about communication and chamber music skills. Most importantly, we learned a lot technically, but we also learned a lot about music in general, what it's for, the communication involved, and we treasured our time with the organization, so we're very pleased to be here today. We hope you enjoy this little performance clip.
That had me dancing. Thank you so much for the beautiful music, Greta, Willow, and Solana. We are getting close to the end of our time together tonight, and I hope you have enjoyed our speakers and performers, the behind the scenes look at how we've adapted during the pandemic, and hearing about some of our goals for the future. This has been a challenging but rewarding year, and we really need your support to move. We really need your support to move into our next chapter. We appreciate any donation you can make tonight. To close out our evening, I am so pleased to welcome our artistic director, Skyros Quartet, to the virtual stage. Skyros members direct and coach nearly all of our programs, and we are so proud to be working with them. What we are about to hear is their first performance in over a year, so take it away, Skyros.
Thank you so much for being with us this evening at our 2021 fundraiser, Chamber Music Magic. I am Sarah Pizzicami. I'm from the Skyros Quartet, and we are your artistic directors of Chamber Music Madness. Not only am I now involved in the program in such an integral way, but I'm also an alumna of the original Chamber Music Madness program, and I can't say how much of an effect it's had on my life. I am now a chamber musician, and I've met some of my dearest friends through the program to this very day. So I also wanted to tell you we are going to be playing a selection for you as the Skyros Quartet, and I'm really excited about it. It's by a composer named Maddalena Lombardini-Sirmin, and she was born in 1745. So this would have been just after the time of Vivaldi, and she was from the area around Venice, and entered the system called the Ospedale system, which was basically the only existing school for girls who would like to go into music at the time. And honestly, it was a little unprecedented because there wasn't really anything like it beforehand. Really amazing. She went to the Ospedale Mendicanti, and she entered at age 7. She auditioned in. So while she was there, she of course developed and learned a lot and studied with Tartini as well, who ended up paying for all of her education because he found her such an incredible musician and really invested in her future, as a father would, because he didn't have any of his own children, so his students were like his children. And at the age of around 20, she left the system a little earlier than she originally agreed to at the age of 7 when she signed the contract, saying, I'll stay for 10 more years when I become a master to teach some students as well. She was able to leave the system by marrying and then going on tour with her husband, who is also a violinist. But at that time is probably when she wrote the 6 string quartets that we are going to be playing the 5th quartet from. She probably wrote it while she was still at the Mendicanti and with her fellow masters who were teaching music. So all the women who were the teachers, they probably were the ones to like test drive these quartets, and also her concerti, her 6 concerti for violin, and also her 6 trios. So she was really, really young, like under the age of 20 maybe, when she wrote at least the sketches for these quartets. And they were soon published after that, probably by 1763 or so. And then they ended up being in a publication of string quartets that were available in 1769, and they were listed just above the Opus 9 quartets by Joseph Haydn. And so they were definitely influencing each other's work, I think, and that's really, really exciting. She met Haydn, she played his first violin parts, and honestly, he definitely would have seen her quartets, and they probably, to some extent, influenced his Opus 20 and Opus 33 quartets, which were being written around that time. So it's really, really fascinating to see how integral she was to the musical community at the time. And if you haven't heard of her, don't feel bad. This happens to a lot of women composers and artists and musicians from that time period where we just don't know about them and we're starting to rediscover them. And that's really, really exciting. So I hope that you enjoy these. They are pretty diversely equaled out between the parts. Like you'll hear little solos come in and out of other parts, not just the first violin. And honestly, they were probably the most balanced quartets of their time until the Opus 20s really launched from Haydn soon after that. So really, really fascinating. And you may find that they sound a little like Mozart to you, and that's probably also true. Mozart definitely studied all of her works before he wrote his. His father was a huge fan of her concerti, especially in her string quartets. So he had the scores and he studied them. So I hope that you enjoy Maddalena Lombardini-Sirmin's String Quartet number 5 from the Skyros Quartet.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Willie Braun. I'm cellist of the Skyros Quartet and one of the artistic directors for Chamber Music Madness. So I'm going to close us out tonight with one last little statement. So thank you all so much for joining us. So I want to first say that was just so much fun for us. Getting back to rehearsals and making that video was some of the most fun we've had in the last year. Skyros decided that we would wait until all four of us could be fully vaccinated until we would start playing again. So that was the first time that we got together to make music since March 2020. And it really was something else to make music with other people again. I've missed it so, so much. Chamber music can be such an intense, emotional, and intimate experience. And I think it's that intimacy and that connection, that wordless communication that we've all really been missing over the last year. It's something truly special that we experience when we play chamber music, that we learn not to hear, but to deeply listen, that we abandon our individual egos to serve the higher purpose of the music that we're creating together, that we unite to make something beautiful as one, that we form a community of learners of all ages. We experience this within Skyros, and we are so grateful that we're able to cultivate this with others in the 6 programs of the Chamber Music Guild. We are so thrilled about the new chapter that this rebrand will take us through. We love this new name. To Skyros, it celebrates the 2 decades of history of our organization, while at the same time enables us to continue growing and evolving into the future with our expanding community of chamber musicians. At this time, more than ever, we believe that building a community of musicians that exists to learn and grow together will be so important for our future. While we don't know what's going to happen next with this pandemic or what the new normal will look like when it's over, we do feel very strongly that building our community of chamber musicians and learners will help us heal and grow. And it is your ongoing support that will enable us to continue this growth, so that when it's safe, we can restart our in-person programs, get back into schools, and continue to innovate new methods of chamber music education, that we can learn to listen, experience the intimacy of playing chamber music together, growing and learning as one community called the Chamber Music Guild. And in the meantime, of course, your support will allow us to continue the really fun work we've been doing since July. As you've heard a bit about tonight already, our newest Guild program is a chamber music education podcast, The Counterpoint Club. My Skyros colleagues and I are so grateful to the Chamber Music Guild for their support of the creation of this project. The final episode of our 3rd season just came out last Tuesday. Now, if you've listened to the podcast, you might think initially that we have some great financial sponsors, but if you listen closely to the advertisements, you might notice something a little fishy, or maybe I should say a little no-me about our sponsors. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'd highly recommend listening to an episode or 2, or 15. Anyway, back to tonight. I just have one more thing I need to say before we finish this evening's program. From the bottom of our hearts, Sarah, Justin, Brandon, and I cannot thank the Chamber Music Guild enough for being such an incredible organization to work with. Sharon, Pam, Lexi, Jean, Daniela, Karin, Teresa, we are so grateful to have your wonderful support of us as artists in years past, and especially in this last year. It really means the world to us. And of course, a huge thank you to our Managing Director, Virginia, for all that you do for us as well. We rely so much on all of you to make the Chamber Music Guild happen, and it just means so, so much to us. Thank you all for the time and energy that has gone into making this event tonight and year-round into making the Chamber Music Guild what it is and what it will be in the years to come. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us tonight and for your ongoing support. We can't wait to see you again in person. Of course, not until it's safe to do so, but when it is, we look forward to hearing you make music and playing together as our ever-growing community of the Chamber Music Guild. Thank you and good night.